Semi-final number 1, the Hardos against Team Ordah. And guys, I gotta say, Team Ordah, great play. They were able to take down the Chili Donuts in the last round, the first round of the tournament for them. And it was a very well played out map, Battlefield of Eternity. Now we're heading into a best of 3. We have Towers of Doom as the first map. And Team Ordah goes up against the Hardos. Now, we've already stated that the last time, but Ordah and Hardo, that's a little bit like of a rename. I mean, it's pretty much an acronym at this point, right? No, wait, not acronym, an anagram. An anagram, but yeah. Not 100% bad, you know, like, if you don't take it too seriously, then yes, maybe. Either way, can they do it again? That's the bigger question. The teams already faced off against each other once. Back then it was the blue team that took victory. But now, after that little motivational boost that they got out of the first round, maybe the team in red has a chance to also take down the Hardos and move on to the grand final. If not, they still make it into the third place deciders match of the day, with another chance to lock in a couple of points here. And I like it. I gotta admit that they are doing well. They are making also a bit of a name for themselves. Obviously, the players have been playing in different teams over the past. If you are a fan of the European Heroes of the Storm scene, you should pretty much know every single player on the red team as well. But they haven't had the same success as teams like the Donuts now, the Chili Donuts, the Hardos, Team Wah, and others. But if they continue the way that they're playing right now, they will easily make it into the playoffs for the main event here, the X-Cup Fall. And I'm excited for that. X-Cup Fall, again, 4,000 euros of prize money are on the line as we're heading into the playoffs. There's a lot of qualifiers where the team will collect points to establish themselves within the top 8 of the leaderboard. The top 8 move on to the playoffs where all the prize money is being played out. The event sponsored by an anonymous donor, an anonymous sponsor, our Mr. X, a fan of the Heroes of the Storm esports scene, long-term player since Alpha, and of course enjoyed the competitive scene before and after and during HGC, but now that things are a little bit rough as Blizzard shut down all the esports support, we have some private individuals like him stepping up and helping out, and it's highly appreciated. So big shout out to our Mr. X here, as we are headed into a semi, and we got Nick on Vala. Yeah, the super early Vala pick here, and I talked a bit about the auto attack style that we see lately on Vala, and it could just be beautiful if they are able to shield her properly. We have Yasuo and Brightwing, Stukov on Urel on the other side for Team Ordah. After Medivh was banned, I mean, Junkrat and Stitches both banned out too. The bans make a lot of sense. Stitches is X-Factor pick that can just shift and turn a game. It adds a certain element of chaos to all of it, so I try to remove that. Same is more or less true for Junkrat, even though he adds even more with all of the damage, the poke, the interrupt potential, you name it. And then Dehaka, one of the best side laners these days, at least when you're talking about the Western meta, where the globals are once again very highly valued. Urel, of course, also fantastic when you are looking for a side laner that can rotate between 2 lanes, soak the experience, and also has a huge impact during team fights. Quick ban on a Nubarak. But I'm very curious what they're going to pick on the blue team side to support Vala even further. Just simply going for 2 more melees would already help. You don't necessarily have to go for the double support or add a shield with Zarya or with Medivh. It would already be enough to just try and get some space for Vala. And with the triple frontline, you can definitely do that. So there's a chance that they're going to try and set that up. But the red team comes in first. And we get Tychus and Varian. Yeah, they got Stukov, so now we have Tychus and Varian. Which means no matter who you pick at that front line, a good taunt from Varian with a Stukov lurking arm would allow Tychus to get either the bigger they are through or whatever he picks on level 4 to be heavily impactful. I think with this setup, it is unlikely to go for the Master Assassin, which you oftentimes see since teams are trying to capitalize on the passive when you're in Odin form. But if you're trying to play around the Varian taunt, you go either for the bigger they are or you get fully into the stacks within the rhythm. And they go up against Garrosh. Garrosh and Jaina. Jaina Vala now. I gotta say, on the one hand I like it, on the other hand, a lot of players have been trying to get Jaina back into business and make her a thing again with limited success. Doesn't mean that doesn't work, but at least some of the approaches we've seen lately haven't played out as well as they were hoping for. Hanzo now could go into the meme strike with the taunt that Varian has. I mean, guys, either way, game number 1. We got Towers of Doom coming up, so let's jump in. Team Ordah against the Hardos. Game number 1, the semi-final. Hardos against Team Ordah. Qualifier number 7. No auto attack style for Nick in this game though. He goes for the arrow build. Also very powerful, of course. Quite strong. We have Bad Benny playing Garrosh, Yasuo and Brightwing. Nick, as mentioned, on Vala. Harzops is playing Jaina. And Copenhagen is on Pogga, pogging around a bit at the top lane. Wit on Varian for Team Ordah. We got Death Knight on Stukov with a low blow on level 1, Zero on Tychus, Kelvin on Hanzo, and Blade is playing the Space Goat. Urel in the house. I like Urel. Urel is fun. Urel is fun to watch, and she is just audacious. Always jumping in, pushing people around. Natural born bully. Same as Garrosh. Garrosh is also like a bully. You know for a fact that when he was in high school, he just stuffed nerds into lockers all day long. The guy is just flipping everybody around, throwing them left, right, and center. And he is continuing to do that. And they are apparently trying to make that play now against Blade. Blade is completely isolated. And they are playing it well. They're not giving him a chance to jump out of this one. So that's going to be a kill. The Space Goat goes down first. Well done. Good job by the Hardos. And Blade got caught a bit. I don't think he saw them rotating down, and that backfired very quickly. And once again, I gotta mention that the blue team had a lot of patience with this. They didn't try to all rush in to get a quick kill and a quick damage that would have allowed Urel to potentially move away again and use her mobility to get out. But in this case, it's an early kill, it's a bit of a leading experience. And they are already moving down to the bottom of the map for another potential flip. But this time Blade was ready, pushes Garrosh back, says like, hey, get the hell out of there. But they're of course attempting to steal the camp away. And they're able to pull that off. Very aggressive stance from the Hardos in the early game. I like it. And this worked very well. They took down the wall, they took down the tower. Fantastic start for the Hardos, at least this early on. So Blade is immediately under pressure again, as Hogger and Varian are up at the top. And I gotta say, I am a little bit confused as to what's going on there. We have Wit on the side lane and Urel down here at the bottom, and I'm just like sitting here and I'm thinking, why? You would expect Urel to be up at the top and Varian to be part of the team, especially now that Taunt is ready and we have the bigger they are. So I expect the rotation to happen very soon. But they are so far not making any plays for it. Good steal. Blade with a nice move. Great steal on the camp. They're not going for the kills just now. Well, there's another connect from Bad Benny. Everybody's low. And that's gonna hurt. 1 down, 2 down. And Blade is also dead. Yep, 3 down, easy kills, and of course this is hurting them a lot. We're gonna take another look at this. As you can see, that was just a full stop play by Copenhagen on Hogger, and then they chased everybody and just took those kills easily. That's 4 kills to 0 now in total, and that's honestly worth losing a camp. So, big setback for Team Ordah. And now they're losing 2 out of the 3 altars. Garrosh is channeling the top left. Down here, we had Harzops taking care. And that is now 8 shots fired. Core goes down to 32 points against 36. But it's really the level discrepancy that is the most troublesome. And Urel is now up at the top. So Urel has now switched over with Varian. So they can now go for a taunt into the bigger they are. Yeah, they might try that sooner rather than later, but the problem is that Wit is dead, so quick kill. And that's just a nasty combo of Benny flipping someone into his own team, and then Brightwing coming in with the polymorph. And that's more than enough time to get the kill. So Varian doesn't even have time for a taunt. Nope, you get completely silenced there, so to say. Oh, Benny is a little bit deep though, but they still get the kill. They still get the kill with a big RNG on the arrow from Vala. Now the slows from Hazu putting the pressure on Tychus. 6 kills to 0. Yeah, that is... Oh, arrows everywhere. Death Knight sticking close to 0, hoping that they're transferring over. If every single arrow would have connected with him, then they might have gotten the kill after all. But here comes the jump. Oh, I've seen this interaction so many times now, but I love it every single time. It's like the jump in, and then Garrosh just says, nope, and throws them out.
Nope.
So right now, Benny in trouble, literally in a corner. Hogger with a big poke, 1 kill, 2 kill. They go for Benny, they can't get him. Win is also low. Benny at 160 hit points. It's a kill trade between the two teams. Brightwing and Urel, they both die. The altars get announced again. But yeah, honestly, nothing is funnier than someone like Urel or Muradin just jumping into a battle straight onto Garrosh and saying like, attack! And Garrosh just throws them out. It's like, nah, not today. I'm sorry. I'm busy right now. I don't want to deal with you. You smell. Take a shower. Talking about smelling, Garrosh apparently smells quite a bit. Varian already comes straight in for him, and Garrosh doesn't like to hear that. So he attacks straight away. But after the red team just took... Oh, careful, Jaina. But after Urel, Hogger is down. After they just took the altar, they're now fighting for the one at the top left. And Hanzo is attempting to sneak it. Hanzo's trying to sneak it, and Hazo is zoned out. Hazo is zoned out. Brightwing tried to get the interrupt, couldn't, and the red team all of a sudden is able to get another altar. They lose Urel in the process, but they got at least the objective here. They're paying a price for it, though. Varian is also dead. And now we have level 10 abilities for the Hardos. They got Decimate in, the Shockwave, and here's the Strafe. Nick immediately trying to pop off. They are behind in the points on the core, which is kind of funny, considering that they're 8 kills ahead. But there's the Shockwave, and that's a kill. Copenhagen soloing Tychus. Easy kill for him on the side lane. Well played, well done. That shouldn't happen to Tychus. And now we got 11 kills, 2-2. Now, damage output, Vala is leading heavily. 29,000 damage. Compare that to Hanzo, who's the top damage dealer for the red team. He's at 13,000. She's more than doubling it at this point. So yeah, it is a little bit ridiculous. But now another attack on Wit. He comes in with a taunt and gets punished right away. Yeah, this is not looking good for the red team. They finally get level 10 abilities, so now they have a chance of fighting back. But they already suffered damage at the bottom bell tower. And it is a bit tricky. Nice polymorph. But here comes the arrow from Hanzo. Brightwing helping Benny out. They attempt to turn it on Hanzo. Another connect, and that's 13 stacks now for Garrosh. And a double kill. They get an easy double kill through Vala on Stukov and Tychus. The StarCraft boys are both dead, and now the altar or the bell tower could soon be taken. With the 5 versus 3 on the map, they should be able to push this one down and then go for the altar and lock it in. But yeah, maybe not. Jaina already moved back. Nick can probably do it by himself, but the channel has started. Hazops does not wait. They don't care. They don't want that extra point. They're just saying, okay guys, screw it. Let's try and take everything at the same time. Let's not give them an opportunity to respawn and then move in. So at this point, 28 points to 28 points. Fairly even. And of course, 14 kills to 2. With the level 13 talents that are now also available, we get the Icy Veins. And a pressure plays through the bottom of the map, but so far there's only 2 players for the Hardos, so they shouldn't be able to save those pumpkins. And look at Vit, he's consistently looking for that taunt. But with Benny around on Garrosh, yeah, good luck with that. Benny has been counter-playing this every single time thus far, and of course Yasuo also with a lot of polymorphs whenever Varian or someone else was moving in. So it just feels that Team Ordah doesn't have a proper approach to this at this moment in time. They're struggling a bit. Blade trying to dismount Copen, that didn't work either. Brightwing using the global a bit down at the bottom of the map. Yeah, and it is a bit tricky. I mean, on the left side, Vala is not doing her thing. Just using the arrow and going straight. I mean, ring around the rosy play against the pumpkins, but eating any damage here and just taking them down as the double altar gets activated again, or at least announced. And down here, they're just defending the bell tower as much as possible. Bot lane of the map, 2 pumpkin camps moving through. If you control that lane completely, you can always apply pressure through those mercenaries and threaten core points. But with the double altars coming up, that's the real important part. Wit gets attacked, arrow against Bad Benny, and this time he has to die. This time he dies. Well coordinated. Can they keep everybody alive? Yes, they can. They are able to keep the rest of the team alive. Now the pumpkins make it in a little bit more time being bought here as Brightwing moves down to the bot lane. And that's at least a channel. It might be a double channel. Varyn is moving in from the top to interrupt Nick, but Brightwing gets the channel at the bottom of the map. So that's 5 shots fired already. 23 points on the core. Kelvin, Blade, they're all in for this one. And Garrosh is still dead, but no! Death Knight! Death Knight goes down. Nick is taunted though. Nick is taunted and he's also gonna die. I certainly hope so. Alright, Vala is dead. The ice block on Jaina, it's only going to delay things. That can't... No way! Hazu! There it is! Hanzo, the final blow from Hanzo. The man with the boy going for the geometry. That one was a little bit more complicated as usual. But he's able to get the arrows connected. And that's a kill against Jaina. So a little Frost Lady is down. Zero and Kelvin are also very low in HP. So they won't be able to participate in that fight either. At least not until they either tapped the fountain or went back to the Nexus. And yeah, it seems like they had the cooldown still up. So yeah, they are good and ready to go. Vala is, by the way, back, so if Nick hurries up a bit, he might be able to play a part in this battle. Indomitable has been used. Zero, can they interrupt? Yes, once. Vala is back, so is Hanzo, and Jaina is on her way too. That battle, guys, it doesn't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Garrosh gets saved, and here comes Odin, the Renegade. Ratatatatata. One hit after another. Talk about hits. Nicely played by Hanzo, but he dies. Jaina solos him. Jaina against Hanzo, and Jaina is successful. They go for Wit, and they get another kill. And now the red team is falling apart again. It looked good initially. Death Knight is down. Zero is just attempting to escape. They go for the pumpkins. Again, they have full control at the bottom. And that's, of course, a bit of a disaster. Ordah was just able to bring it back a little bit. And now this happened. The problem was also the level 16 talents for the Hardos, of course. The experience lead for the blue team is still too significant to allow Team Ordah to take an easy fight. Now we have them down to 18 points against 28. And things are looking more than grim. We got 27,000 for Hanzo, and Vala, she's still more than doubling that. 57k for her with the arrow build. Everybody is going to the boss, by the way. Nick is the only one that is still down here at the bot lane. And Wit was trying to intercept him, but that didn't quite work. So now it's another 4 points off the core. Red team is going to drop down to 14. Of course, that comes at a price. The bell tower at the bottom of the map gets retaken. But that one was low anyway, so that's probably the best play that they had regardless. And as long as they still have the level 16 talent advantage, they might as well use it, right? So they go for the top fort, for the top bell tower, and drop it. Yeah, well done. That accelerates the game a little bit. It also puts them in the driver's seat once again. As an attempt to take the wall down here. But the Hardos are not going to suffer more damage than that. Red team knows extremely well that they cannot stay here too long or they're going to be flanked and taken down. So, well, with that, a bit more pressure in the middle. Trying the same thing here. Nick also with one connect after another. He's at 41 stacks as level 1. Oh, the stun and the kill through Vala's strafe. Oh, Hanzo. That was kind of unlucky here. Water Elemental with a lot of good slows. 1 kill, 2 kills, 3 kills. And they go for Wit, who's also dead. 4 kills in total. Bell tower in the middle gets attacked. We take another quick look at this. After Hanzo died, this was the main chase, and of course the slows that we have from the Water Elemental were just a little bit too much. With all the kills they got, now they have the big shots fired, and that puts the core down to 2 points. 6 bell towers, and guys, the situation is just going to get worse because they are trying for the full setup at the bottom. At the top, Urel's in trouble. Oh, and she's dead. Yeah. Trouble doesn't even begin to describe it. She's dead. And with another set fired, this is the end of the game. The triple altar phase completely controlled here by the Hardos. They take the lead in this best of 3 series at the semifinal. GG, well played.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Battlefield of Eternity, map number 2, the Hardos with the lead. Great game that they played on Towers of Doom. I was personally surprised when the map was picked, because it is traditionally a map where the Hardos are quite strong, a map that they oftentimes pick themselves. So when Ordah came in and said, well, we want to play on Towers, I was a little bit like, wait, what? I did not expect that map to be picked. I specifically actually said that I don't think it's going to be Towers. Now in Battlefield of Eternity, that map choice makes a bit more sense to me. And now don't get me wrong, if you're going up against the Hardos, you know, it's not like they have this one map where they're absolutely horrible and you win every single game against them. But I always feel they have a few maps where they want to play on. They like to play on Tomb, they play it a lot, they pick it a lot, and they also pick a lot of Cursed and Towers. So those 3 maps, if you can, I would stay clear of them and try to play others. Not because they suck there, just because they like to play on those 3 specifically, which makes them their preference picks. And yeah, for me that's reason enough to just say, if you go up against them, you want to win, stay clear. But again, for Team Ordah, they just said, okay, Towers, that's actually our territory. Turned out that the blue team was a little bit stronger. And now we're heading into our second map. And we're going to give this one a shot with Junkrat as the initial ban. And yeah, also Lucio and Hogger are banned out here. What about Vala? I mean, I don't think we're going to see a Vala ban. But who's going to pick her? Arrow build, I would assume, again, given that it's Battlefield. But now there's the chance to lock it in. Could play an early Liming, seen that multiple times. Vala is becoming a bigger and bigger part in the meta, and they go for Dehaka. Dinosaur time again. Alright, we're going full Jurassic Park on this one, and the Vala pick therefore immediately locked in by the blue team as they have their double pick. Off we go. And what else we're getting? Blaze. Zarya is not banned out. I'm just mentioning it. I don't know why I like Zarya drafts these days so much. I honestly don't. Zarya for a long time was to me always like a pick, you know, that was nice, was good to see her, but it was also a bit like, yeah, whatever. But since Rutsu has been going ham on Zarya again, and when we had Lauber's fan club as a team around, with Rutsu and Glauber just using that combo, Garrosh plus Zarya all the time, it just became a lot more fun. So now I wouldn't mind to have another pick along those lines, but with what's already drafted, I think it's a bit unlikely. We have Tracer again though, and Tracer with Malfurion is of course great. Malfurion is still the best support for Tracer, simply because you can overheal, you have the damage over time, and Tracer can therefore go a lot deeper with an early heal from Malfurion, and then try and get some value out of all of this. The Roots was a follow-up on either the Drag or maybe even a potential Muradin pick. But here comes the Liming ban first, so no additional poke. And Garrosh gets banned, but there's always the chance, I don't really think there's a chance that Blaze is going to be played as a main tank. Not by the Hardos, I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, they could, we've seen a few play that lately, Lauber in particular of course. It's actually not only him. We had some other teams try it as well. But what is Benny playing? Could still go into Muradin. I know it's not Lauber playing, but still, Muradin isn't bad or anything. Also, Nubrak is up, has not been banned out either. And we get Uther and Hanzo. Now that all of a sudden makes things interesting, because now we could also see a second support instead. You could play Uther as the main tank, have a second support together with that, and just simply swap heroes after the phase. And that's exactly the little problem that Ordah has now. They're looking at this draft, there's like, okay, is that a solo support Uther? Is that a double support Uther with Uther as a main tank? Or what's happening here? But they decide to go for Anubarak and for Maiev. So Anubarak comes in, Malfurion follows up with the root. You have Maiev for the tether. And Bad Benny, the last pick. What's Benny gonna go for? This is gonna be revealing what's happening here. Main tank for Benny, or a second support, and he swaps with Yasuo. Map number 2. They could go to the grand final here. It's Mal'Ganis. We have an Uther solo heal with Mal'Ganis as the front line. Guys, let's get ready. Game number 2 in the best of 3 here at the semifinal of X Cup Fall Qualifier number 7. Let's go. Game number 2, the opportunity for the Hardos to move on to the grand final. We have them on the left in blue with Harzobs on Hanzo, Nick on Vala, Bad Benny is playing Mal'Ganis, Copenhagen on Blaze, and Yasu on Uther. Yeah, Yasu, Gesundheit. On the right side of the map, Wit on Unubarak, we got Blade on Dehaka, Death Knight on Malfurion. Am I the only one, by the way, that looks at that nickname and says, hey, your role doesn't match your nickname? Every single time I see Death Knight, you know, Death Knight, oh my god, damage, fear, pain, you know, terror. And then he's like, Malfurion, or he plays Anduin. So yeah, I don't know. Zero on Tracer and Kelvin on Maiev. All I'm trying to say is that it just doesn't fit. If I hear Death Knight, you know, there's a certain amount of terror that you want to see with that name. He inspires terror. He comes in with the damage. He's the Death Knight. He takes everybody down. Death follows him. And then he plays a healer. I mean, the fuck is wrong with that picture? You can't tell me that I'm the only one looking at that player name and says, like, that's just not okay. We have, by the way, Vala with an auto attack setup. I like it. I know this is weird coming from me. I am an outspoken hater of Creed of the Noob, but that was before the patch changes. Guys, I always said with everything when we're talking about these things, patches can change everything. So in this case, the auto attack build is all of a sudden, it's good. Because what did I tell you guys? Wait, Kelvin! And the kill! Maiev is dead. Goodbye, girl. She's gone, and so is Unubarak. What did I tell you guys every single time we talked about Creed of the Noob, huh? The level 1 talent. I told you over and over again, the problem with this is that you only get the bonus when you have the 100 stacks. Until then, it's pretty much useless. And that if they at any point change it to where you get incremental advantages as you stack your talent, it all of a sudden will become viable. And that's exactly what we're seeing here. And on top of that, they came also in with the Gambit component of the talent. So now if you don't die and you're kept alive, it's even more powerful and stronger. So early game, you get an advantage out of it too. Another kill as Malfurion dies, and there's another cockroach kill. Yeah, La Cucaracha is dead once again. So we have an absolute slaughter down here. So by the way, one of the reasons why a lot of the teams that are playing Vala lately are either playing that with a double support or are instead going for some additional shields with Medivh, with Zarya, just so they can make sure Vala doesn't die and keeps her Gambit stacks, and therefore the auto attack. But yep, there he is. So we got down at the bottom of the map, the fountain already taken down. Fountain gone, sustain eliminated. Yeah, and that's big. That's actually very, very big. Nick might have stayed a little bit too long. There's the stun, there's the tether, and one of the Gambit stacks is now saying bye-bye. No, come on. No. Alright, there's the kill. For just a moment, I was like, don't tell me he survives this. Nah, Nick got a little bit too greedy, and therefore it's a kill for Team Ordah. And, yeah. By the way, the way that they're spelling Ordah, you know, all caps lock kitty style, it's like Hanzo, right? When Hanzo comes in, it's like, Honor! Honor! Ordah! Really feels like it's just something that Hanzo would say. I have no idea about the roots of the name. If there's anything more to it than them taking a little bit of a pun on some of the German words and the pronunciation. But I could totally hear that being a Hanzo thing. And that cockroach just gets eliminated over and over again. I mean, normally you take one cockroach down and another two are spawning, but in this game it feels like they're playing Whack-A-Cockroach. Every single time a Unubarak shows his face somewhere, it's another quick slap and kill against him. Out of the 5 kills against the red team, 3 of them were against him. Locked down into the stun, and Dehaka is dead too. Boy, they are crushing it now. Yeah, they're definitely doing some work on this one. If anything, it's amazing to me that the red team isn't farther behind in experience. But it seems that the Hardos have a busy schedule on this Sunday. They're trying to speedrun this one. Death Knight is now also running away, and thanks to Blade tunneling in, he is alive for now. But the Immortal has now been won. This is the first one, of course. Benny with Mal'Ganis also on the move. And yeah, here come the level 7 talents. You don't want to fight into this. So let's have a bit of a look at the top lane in a moment, because that's where the Immortal is going to travel. On level 7, we have, in addition to all of this now, the Hot Pursuit after the Death Dealer, of course. And Nick is just going for the one auto attack after another. I enjoy good auto attacker. Good auto attackers are always fun. I kind of like it. A good stutter step, you know, having that little bit of like micro coming in. Stutter stepping in particular, if you're playing an auto attacker, that's the first thing you really need to learn. Yeah, but Benny down here. What? He's alive! He's like Frankenstein's monster. He's still alive, and Nick weaves in a few more attacks. No, but seriously, like, if you are someone that plays in Plastic or Wood League, the one thing that can instantly catapult your gameplay to the next level is if you learn how to stutter step properly. There's so many tutorials out there on how to do it and how to just weave in these extra auto attacks and not just always right-click, you know, learn what an attack move is, learn attack moves in battle, stutter step properly. And once that you've done that, I mean, again, you're playing Plastic or Wood League, and this will instantly catapult you forward. There's like so many, there's not really a whole lot of mechanics. Heroes of the Storm is a lot about coordination, about team play. But if you have the basic mechanics down, that obviously helps you a lot. I don't think there's any help for Benny anymore, because this time he went a bit too deep. Or did he? Maybe not? That fucking bat just can't be killed. Are you kidding me? Benny is alive still? The cockroach is dead again, but Benny survived by... Like, he went into 3-4 people and he's still alive. What? That's just ridiculous. I mean, come on. He just moved into 3 or 4 people, and I mean, that's the Benny Hill theme right there. He just didn't care. You can't tell me that Benny looked at this and was like, yeah, this is fine. I'm going to survive this 100%. He was like, and then he just went out, and yeah. I was looking to Yasuo and thinking to myself, if he had a Divine Shield, he could save him. And then he survived either way. Immortal is spawning again, and by now we have 2 forts down. 2 forts got eliminated. The Hardos, they are controlling this game from start to finish here. Arrow and Tracer is dead. Fully controlling the point where she would respawn. Yeah, we're going to take another look at this one. This one was beautiful, guys. Okay, well, the bottom lane, still pressured a bit. Check this one out again. Look at Tracer. Look at the recall as well. So Tracer comes in, know exactly where. Hazu sees it, and bam! Arrow towards the recall point. Tracer gets stunned, instantly dies, and a follow-up kill after that. Drops the second hero. They get a freebie on the halftime show. 50% done. Easy peasy. And now, of course, they can, with their level 10 advantage, also get the entire shield down. That was very, very nicely done. I like that. I like that a lot. So, by now, the red team, of course, bit desperate here. If they get level 10 and can start a counter-attack, would maybe help. But they need kills. And they're not going to get the objective. They're not going to get that. No, the blue team is too experienced for this. They are burning down the Immortal hit points as quickly as they can. And off we go. So, with that, top lane is going to be the main focus now. We're talking keep. We're 8 minutes into the game and we're talking keep. This is 100% on the shield. Full shield Immortal. That one will do damage. Despite the fact that we're very early in the game and the Immortals didn't really scale properly, this one is still going to be a problem to deal with. They go for it again, or at least they're trying to. He died 5 times already. And here comes the damage, baby. 27,000 by Vala, and it's a kill against Maiev. Maiev is down. Malfurion is dead. Blaze is getting attacked here. Wer hat noch nicht? Wer will noch mal? Yeah, every shot is hitting. Everybody's dead or dying. That's level 10 for the red team, but it is too little, too late. Nick is surviving throughout the keep. The keep is gone, and of course, at this point, we're not talking keep anymore. We're talking game, and we're talking potential victory for the Hardos. They might be able to win this one in under 10 minutes. They go for Wit again. He dies. That's the 6th death on Anubarak. The only one that has fallen once in this game. It is Nick. It is Vala. And yes, they're speedrunning this. And they're speedrunning it hard. The Hardos move on to the grand final of qualifier number 7. And Team Ordah drops down into the 3rd place decider. GG. Well played.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.